Good morning, Jeff Surber, Operations Chief with the Great Basin Team 1. It is, just help me out, it's the 3rd of September and it's Tuesday. So with the operational update, it's approximately 8:30 this morning, and I'll start over here on Division Alpha and Romeo. We again don't have any monitoring going on other than by air occasionally with helicopters that are working in the area. We have had good air now for a couple of days as far as clear air for helicopters to fly, so that's pretty much what we do is while those folks are in the air, both air attack and helicopters, they'll kind of be glancing over in the northern part of the fire and make sure there's nothing there that could surprise us. Over on Division Charlie, for today, the focus of their efforts is at the south end at the lower Ski Lake Campground. The northern portion of that division is considered contained. They still patrol those contained lines just to make sure that no smokes pop up that they're unaware of. So they watch the back door all the time and make sure that there's nothing sneaking out back in these areas that they consider to be pretty well cold. What they're doing around the campground still is just picking up any heat. We've had southeast winds prevailing the last with this rain. So basically they're making sure that there's nothing that can sneak out with that southeast push. Over on Division Echo, they're doing the same thing around the upper Ski Lake Campground. They're going to launch a boat there, take it to Erosion Bay cabin today with 10 folks. They're called a fire use module. They can go in, they can stay in that area, and they can wait for this fire that keeps wanting to come south. It's just a creeping fire that's coming down south towards the cabin. They'll either wait for the fire to come right to them and just spray water on it if it continues to creep, or if it gets up and wants to move faster, they may build a little bit of line and burn out just as the fire reaches them. But I would expect that that'll be a creeping fire, and it may slow down dramatically with the amount of rain we got last night. Moving over into Division Kilo, they are pushing their way up from the Kenai River. They take boats across the river at Russian Ferry every day, and they come across the river, they hike up this line, or they hike in the Surprise Creek Trail, and they get up into the upper end of what's considered as far as they're going to go up towards Bear Mountain. Yesterday they used helicopters in there. I watched them using bucket drops up in the upper elevations where they can't pull hose all the way up there and push it with pumps up out of the creek. So they have a lot of this line in here plumbed with hose lays and using water out of the river or out of the creek. But up in the upper elevations on the south end, they're using helicopters to support themselves. The structure group and our swing shift are mainly working right around Cooper Landing. They continue to install and check lines. They're doing simulations in there. Basically, they want to be ready all the time, and it helps to do simulations around structures and that, so that next time this occurs, if this fire never comes into town, they take the time that they have, free time that they have to do simulations, and they start the pumps, they act like it's the real thing, and they work their way through those simulations so that they're basically using that as for training purposes while they're in a waiting mode to see what happens with this fire up north. Moving up to Division Lima, they are continuing to walk in up the Resurrection Trail and work both the south side of the east slop over and the south side of the west slop over. They're doing what they can direct. Before they prepared this ATV trail, the foot trail in there for the fire advancement that was coming down off the mountain, moving to the east towards the trail, but it looks like that's kind of hung up with the rain, so they're going to just work the fire edge and go direct on that. Beyond that, we have not inserted any folks up in here. We originally had plans in that Division Papa to possibly put some folks out and kind of assess these cabins, but at this point with the amount of rain, which was around half an inch of rain last night is what we're told down in Cooper Landing, this is going to be real subdued, I'm sure, for quite some time. So we don't have any plans to put folks out there and take any type of risk with that. Over on the Caribou Lake Fire, I think this is an updated map. Yeah, can you get that? You can kind of see that the majority of the Caribou Lake Fire is contained. There is a section in here that'll take a day or two to pick up. We have plans for what we call natural attrition as crews time out. They will be coming off that fire, and we're probably looking at by later in the week or this weekend, wrapping that fire up.
That's our
Good.
update.
All right.
Thank you, Jeff.